My name is Rachel Dawson. I'm 38 years old, married for 12 years, and until recently, I thought I knew what loyalty looked like. My husband, James Dawson, was a respected project manager at a private architecture firm in Chicago. We had a modest but comfortable life. 2 kids, a house in the suburbs, and years of shared memories. I believed in James with every fiber of my being. But all of that crumbled the day I showed up at his office unannounced. The beginning of doubt. It started with little things. Missed calls, delayed responses to texts, a shift in tone. Nothing dramatic, just different. James claimed stress was building at work, that deadlines were piling up, and that his boss had been riding him harder than usual. I trusted him. Of course I did. I was his wife. But then came the late nights. The sudden business trips that didn't include hotel receipts or emails confirming flights. Once, I caught the scent of perfume I didn't wear lingering on his blazer, and when I asked, he laughed it off and said a co-worker had accidentally bumped into him in the elevator. I wanted to believe him. Still, something inside me stirred. A feeling I couldn't shake, like my instincts were screaming for attention. On a Wednesday morning in early March, I dropped the kids off at school and stood in my kitchen sipping coffee. James had left unusually early that day. He said he had a major meeting with a client and needed time to prepare. But something about the way he avoided my eyes when he said goodbye, it haunted me. I didn't plan it. Not really. I just got in the car. My hand turned the ignition before I had even decided where I was going. Next thing I knew, I was driving toward downtown, straight to James's office building. I wanted to bring him coffee, maybe catch a glimpse of him hard at work. I thought, if nothing else, the surprise would remind us both of how solid our bond was, how we were partners in everything. When I reached the lobby, the receptionist greeted me politely. "Hi, I'm here to see James Dawson. I'm his wife. Just thought I'd surprise him." The woman's face froze. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dawson, but James has been on vacation since Monday." My smile cracked. "I think you might be mistaken. He's been going to work every day this week." She double-checked her computer and gave a soft shake of her head. "No, he submitted his time-off request last month. He's not expected back until next week." I stood there, numb. My hands trembled around the coffee tray. My ears buzzed like I was underwater. But I thanked her politely, left the building, and walked back to my car as calmly as I could. Once inside, I couldn't stop shaking. I checked his location, using the Find My Phone app. He wasn't at work. He was at a hotel downtown, less than 10 minutes from where I sat. I didn't think. I drove there like I was on autopilot. My heart beat so loud I could feel it in my ears. I parked in the hotel garage and marched straight to the front desk. "Excuse me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Could you tell me if James Dawson is a guest here?" The young man behind the desk hesitated. "I'm sorry, we can't give out information about our guests." I leaned in. "I'm his wife, and I have reason to believe he's cheating on me. If you don't tell me, I'll sit in that lobby until he walks out with her. And trust me, I'll make a scene you'll regret." He hesitated, then discreetly confirmed James was checked into a suite on the 10th floor. I took the elevator up. When I reached the room, I didn't knock. I didn't hesitate. I slid the key card I had grabbed from James's desk drawer 2 weeks earlier when I was feeling suspicious. I had copied it that day without a plan, just a nagging instinct. And now, it was about to prove everything. The door clicked open. Inside, I saw James standing in a robe, champagne in hand. A woman with long dark hair sat on the bed in lingerie, laughing, until she saw me. He froze. "Rachel?" I stared at him. "Vacation, huh?" The woman gasped and grabbed the sheets to cover herself. James opened his mouth, but no sound came out. I took a step forward, heart-shattering, voice shaking but strong. "All those nights you came home late. All the lies. I believed you. I defended you when others had doubts. I loved you, James. And this is what you were doing with my trust." He stammered. "I didn't know how to tell you. It just happened." I laughed bitterly. "It didn't just happen. Affairs don't just happen. They're choices. Repeated ones. Every lie you told. Every night you spent here, it was a choice. Aftermath. I walked out of that hotel room and never looked back. I didn't scream. I didn't cry, not then. The tears came later, when I was home alone. The kids still at school, the silence echoing through our house like a death toll. James tried to contact me. He came home to find the locks changed. I had already contacted a lawyer. The woman, I later found out, was his co-worker, a junior associate, 10 years younger, single, and apparently unaware James was married with children, at least at first. My kids cried when I told them their dad wouldn't be living with us anymore. It broke me, breaking their hearts. But I told them the truth, age-appropriate and honest. I refused to lie for him. He did enough of that for both of us. Rebuilding. It's been a year since that day. I moved back to Michigan to be closer to my sister. I took a job in a publishing house, something I'd always wanted to do. Slowly, piece by piece, I've been rebuilding my life. I'm not the same woman I was. That version of me, naive, trusting, hopeful, died in a hotel hallway. But in her place stands someone stronger, wiser, fiercely protective of her peace and her children's future. James still tries to call sometimes. He leaves voicemails about how he misses the family. But I've stopped listening. The truth is, the day I walked into his office expecting love and found betrayal instead, that was the day I saved myself. That surprise visit, meant to be a small act of love, ended up being the door I needed to walk through to see the truth. James didn't just betray our vows. He betrayed my trust, my loyalty, and the home we built together. But I didn't let that betrayal define me. I chose healing over hatred, strength over silence, dignity over drama. And now, when I look in the mirror, I no longer see the wife who was lied to. I see the woman who walked away, with her head high, her heart healing, and her future wide open.